G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Delling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, I've just published an article titled, "Did Senator Linda Reynolds' perjury in the Bruce Lehrmann trial cost Brittany Higgins justice?" Now, Senator Linda Reynolds has confessed in the last week or so that she gave false evidence last year in the Bruce Lehrmann trial. And the problem she's got is that once you admit to one lie, it has a roll-on effect, a domino effect, where other lies tend to get exposed, and that's exactly what's happened. So now it's fairly obvious she's committed at least 2 counts of perjury, and it's not accidental. Linda Reynolds was a compulsive liar, and we've all heard the saying that liars need to have a good memory, because they need to remember all the lies they've told, where someone who's telling the truth, they don't need a good memory because they're telling the truth. Now, the particular lie relates to when did Linda Reynolds find out that Brittany Higgins had made a complaint that Bruce Lehrmann was on top of her? So let's deal with that lie, which she's admitted, Linda Reynolds. Now, the alleged rape happened on the 23rd of March 2019, and they had a meeting on the 1st of April, about a week later. On the 1st of April 2019, Linda Reynolds, the Chief of Staff, Fiona Brown and Brittany Higgins. Now, Linda Reynolds was saying, or she gave evidence under oath, that she never knew about Brittany Higgins' complaint that Bruce Lehrmann was on top of her on the 23rd of March when they entered the office late in the morning, early in the morning, I mean. And Linda Reynolds said she knew nothing at the meeting as well, the 1st of April meeting. So she knew nothing. Now, that's probably consistent with the government's and Scott Morrison's lie, and I'm sure it went down right throughout the party to lie and say there was no alleged rape and they knew nothing, there was nothing sexual. And that's what Linda Reynolds would have been falling back on, that lie. But the problem is it didn't add up, and she gave an interview on Channel 7's Sunday night program last week, and it was exposed, that lie. And I deal with that in the article, so you can read the article, that particular issue. But she ultimately admitted that lie via her lawyers during the week. The specific lie she admitted to, that she did know before the April 1st meeting, so somewhere between the 23rd of March and the 1st of April meeting, she was told by her Chief of Staff that Brittany Higgins had complained that Bruce Lehrmann was on top of her, which that in itself should raise a lot of queries. It should have raised a lot of queries in Linda Reynolds' mind. Hey, obviously it looks like a sexual assault of some sort had taken place. And so in Linda Reynolds' mind, it should have been, because she's been told before the 1st of April meeting, that going to the 1st of April meeting, that should have been the key issue that Linda Reynolds would want to discuss. Hey, did a sexual assault take place? I know you complained about Bruce Lehrmann being on top of you. What happened? But no, Linda Reynolds is sticking to that lie that she knew nothing at the 1st of April meeting as well. Well, Brittany Higgins didn't raise it. Now, someone said on social media, Walter Sofronoff, the chairperson of the ACT inquiry, got a lot wrong with his report, a hell of a lot wrong, but he did get a certain section right, and I'm going to read that out to you, because it actually covers almost the identical situation. It covers the 1st of April meeting and what sort of impact it would have on the jury. So I'll read it out to you, and I'll put it up on screen. You can pause the screen, or you can go to my website and read that article, and it's got the full copy in that article. Now, Walter Sofronoff says at page 132, section 570 in his report, he says, in March 2019, Senator Linda Reynolds was the Minister for Defence Industry in the Australian government. Ms Higgins was working for Senator Reynolds as an administration and media assistant. It says at section 571, on the 1st of April 2019, Ms Higgins met with Senator Reynolds and her Chief of Staff, Fiona Brown. During the meeting, the group discussed the entry of Senator Reynolds' office in the early hours of the 23rd of March 2019 by Ms Higgins and Mr Lehrmann. Ms Higgins gave evidence at the trial that at this meeting, she told Senator Linda Reynolds that Lehrmann had sexually assaulted her. Senator Reynolds' evidence was that Ms Higgins did not reveal that anything sexual had happened between herself and Mr Lehrmann. Then at section 572, a complainant's disclosures about an alleged sexual offence to other people is evidence that a jury may use to assess the credit of the complainant. It may assist a jury to conclude that the complainant is trustworthy if it demonstrates a consistency in the complainant's account of the commission of the offence. Any inconsistency may have the opposite effect. For this reason, Senator Reynolds was a material witness in any fair presentation of the case by the prosecution at the trial. If a jury considered her evidence to be credible, it could damage Ms. Higgins' credibility since it contradicted her account, what was disclosed about the allegation at the 1st of April 2019 meeting. So the problem Linda Reynolds has, she's had to admit to lying about knowing before the 1st of April meeting. Sometime after the 23rd of March and before the 1st of April meeting, her Chief of Staff, Fiona Brown, told her that Brittany Higgins had complained about Bruce Lehrmann on being on top of her when they entered the office. Now, since she's admitted to that lie, well, that should have been front and centre of her thoughts in relation to the April 1 meeting. So going into that meeting, Linda Reynolds should have had that front and centre to discuss that. But she's still claiming she didn't. Well, I'll send an email to her lawyers, because that seems to be the only way she's responding is via her lawyers, because she did that to News Corp. So I'll send an email to her lawyers and say she's still lying about that. She's still denying anything sexual was raised at the 1st of April meeting by Brittany Higgins, because it makes no sense. Of course, it would have been raised, and of course Linda Reynolds would have been the one who would raise it, because she already knew there was something untoward that had happened. Then there'd be 2 counts of perjury. Then once you got the 2 counts of perjury, some of the other answers she gave in other questions, you obviously start raising questions about that. But like Walter Sofronoff said, if the jury believed Linda Reynolds, well, then they're going to disbelieve Brittany Higgins. So it could have had a material effect on the outcome of the trial, because they deliberated for something like 5 days. If Linda Reynolds hadn't blatantly perjured herself, well, maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe they would have found a judgment and found Bruce Lehrmann guilty. Anyhow, like I said, I'll follow up with an email to Linda Reynolds' lawyers and see what happens there, see what response they give me. And make sure you visit my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia, and read that article. It's got a lot more information. You can read that exact extract from Walter Sofronoff. Like I said, he got a lot wrong in his findings, but he did get that part right. In Kangaroo Court of Australia, independent media, I publish a website, YouTube channel, Facebook page and Twitter account. And I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. And I currently have 310 patrons donating $1,992 a month. And I really need to double it to become financially viable. So if you could support that, that'd be great. You can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It all helps you out in a big way. And the link to the Patreon account will be below the video on YouTube and also on my website. And please share this video on Facebook and Twitter, etc. Thank you for your time and have a good day.